Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Cat Sports. Today, we are going over at the NFC North. Uh, we did have one divisional matchup, but we're going to start in Green Bay. Green Bay making out a win against the Chargers, barely winning 23-20. If the rookie wide receiver on the Chargers didn't drop the pass, they probably would have went to OT and/or lost that game.
Yeah, it was a close game. I mean, I'm not worried about the Packers too much. We should beat them Thursday. But they played a good game. I mean, every time I want to say Jordan Love should be benched or something like that, he shows that maybe he has something. He played a decent game, and the Packers defense, which I like. I wish we could switch defenses with them, but you know it is what it is, and they played a good. I was surprised as well as the Chargers played against us. I thought they would pretty much demolish.
The Chargers
the
actually
Packers.
didn't have a bad day looking at the numbers now. They just, I guess, couldn't get the points. Herbert threw for 244 yards for 2 TDs, and they ran for 150 yards.
Yeah, that's just
that's not a bad day at all.
Better. I would have expected at least 100 more yards from Maber.
Jordan Love, though, he threw for 295 for 2 TDs, and they ran for 100 yards.
Right.
In total,
I wouldn't have expected Love to outperform Maber, but he did. And just shows you the NFL every week is just crazy. There's always these WTF games that you just shake your head at and go, that makes no sense at all, like ours this week. So.
Yeah, moving on to the second game in our division before we get to the divisional matchup of Week 11. The Vikings going into Denver and losing at the last minute. Russell Wilson coming down with the only touchdown they had the whole entire game at the last minute and ending up beating the Vikings. Josh Dobbs could not bring them back.
I was pretty surprised because I thought Minnesota had that game. I did not think Denver would come back, but it's taken Sean Payton a little while, but he's turned that team into something to be worried about when you play them. Russell Wilson's looking better. The defense is playing really well, and he's just doing what he has to do to eke out wins. I was there in the playoff picture in the AFC with everybody going down and all the injuries. That's the NFL. You predict all you want, but you can't predict, people getting hurt.
No.
And it's really, had a devastating effect on a lot of teams. And Denver's in the picture.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs had an okay day. He threw for 210, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And they ran. They were able to run yesterday. They ran for 175 yards. Madison ran for 81. I do think he got hurt at one point during the game, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure. I know Packers-wise, Aaron Jones got hurt. Luckily, the x-rays came back negative for him.
Right.
So it wasn't like an ACL tear because that's what they were fearing happened with him. But the Packers are going to be very, very low this week on productivity, and they're going to have to fully rely on Jordan Love come Thanksgiving.
You can rely on them all you want.
Coming to our divisional matchup this week, a comeback win from the Lions, winning 31-26. We already kind of went over the full game in our post game yesterday. But, I mean, overall, the Bears did play well. It's going to come down to coaching. I think Justin Fields is capable. The offense is capable. And they have a really good run defense. They just do not have the right coaching on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lions, like I said, we're just going to struggle with it, and it's going to be unpredictable every single week. You don't know what you're going to get. I still believe in Aaron Glenn, as much as people want to fire him after every horrible outing. I still think it's more personnel than coaching. And I think, I'm hoping that we're going to get some players back that can help that defensive line. Houston's supposed to be coming back
late December,
but I can't see that making a difference.
No, I don't think. I honestly don't expect Houston to play again this year, at least in like an important role. He might come in every now and then, but I think the injury is just too much to try to overcome this year. Maybe CJ, like they said, he might be back for the playoffs. Again, I don't know
Yeah, well, I mean,
if
at
that will
least
even
his
matter.
injury is kind of like an upper body thing, so he can still be in decent shape, running and doing what he's got to
Yeah.
do and stay in pretty good thing. Yeah, it's just I just don't know what a difference it'll make with so short a time to
Yeah.
recover.
So this week coming up, there's 2 divisional games coming up this week. Thursday, Thanksgiving, Lions, Packers. Obviously, as we've already gone over, it's going to be pretty difficult for the Packers to come into the Ford Field and win that game.
Should be, yeah. I mean, with everything that they're dealing with right now, you can't run the ball, they can't pass the ball,
And the
much.
momentum.
But our defense isn't very good, so I'm sure Jordan Love will put up some numbers on us.
The Lions are favored by 7.5,
which surprises me. It's not more. I mean, I'm hoping, like I said, it was such a god awful performance by Goff. He's got to bounce back in this game. He's got
turnover wise. Hopefully that he got his turnovers out of his way, because usually, again, everyone has a really bad game at one point. No one's ever perfect. And you can say the Ravens was a bad game, but that was a bad team game. Goff didn't play bad that game. He just didn't score. He just played bad,
right,
against the Bears.
And the funny thing is, like I said, like people are pointing out, you played that bad a game for 3.5 quarters, and you
still won.
You still win,
which is not a Lions thing.
Very not SOL. It's that because in the past, Lions never would have won. Actually, they would have been the Bears. They would have been.
They would have been the Bear situation.
So I mean, you got to look for silver linings, and that was one. And I think I'm stopping predicting on this team. I just want to enjoy this.
You just want to get to the end of the year. They are, and again.
I think the last 3 games are going to be tough, but we should. If we can't beat Minnesota once, we don't deserve it, really.
No, yeah, like
I want to beat them at least once. You should split with them.
Yeah. So far, there's nothing that concerns me on the Packers to why we can't sweep them, make it the 5th straight time. But we'll see what happens Thanksgiving. I still think it might be somewhat closer just because of what happened this week, but you're riding the momentum. The Lions should take the game pretty easily and then go on their long week until they have to go to New Orleans for their 2-game road trip in New Orleans and Chicago before they come home against Denver.
Right.
The Packers, after that game, do not have the best game. They'll be on Sunday Night Football at home against Kansas City. They get they get a long week to go and prepare for KC after whatever happens with us.
Right. That Kansas City loss to Denver doesn't look so bad now.
No, it does not. Bears wise and Vikings wise, they both play each other on Monday night.
Bears and Vikings. Monday night matchup.
Monday night matchup, Bears, Vikings. Vikings are the home team. They are, of course, favored in the game. They are favored by 3.5.
Yeah, the Vikings are favored by 3.5.
At home. So we'll see what ends up happening. They have a 61% chance of winning, right? Obviously, no Kirk Cousins, right? He got hurt. Josh Dobbs has been carrying the team, doing the best he can. And honestly, if Justin Fields plays the way he kind of played against us, I could see the Bears winning.
Oh, I certainly can see the Bears winning, but I think, like I said, the Vikings, I hope they do. Let's cheer for the Bears. Go Bears.
And their Monday night game in Minnesota has $61 tickets. How nice and cheap compared to what we had to spend for tickets.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I can see the Bears beating the Vikings. And the Vikings have to win now. There is no, I can drop
Justin
a game
Jefferson
here.
coming back?
Maybe he'll be back next week. I don't know if
for what the Vikings have done without him, without Kirk Cousins, I mean, it's amazing. I mean,
and without a starting running back, without Dalvin Cook.
Right. This Viking team is winning despite, like I said, they have no reason to. When you look at their lineup, I would think that they would. I can't believe they're still hanging on.
It is surprising.
They're resilient.
Now, looking at the division, as we have stated, the Lions are in a good position. They are 2.5 games up. If they win on the bye week, they can just keep on matching whatever Minnesota does, which they should basically be winning. Minnesota may or may not win. If you end up just keep on winning, by the time you face Minnesota, is going to be the clinching game. That would be your clinching game. It currently sits as that one game in Minnesota.
There's no way I think it should go to the last game. I think we should have them.
It should not go to the last game.
Well before that. Maybe by the time we face them the first time. I'd like to see
that. That is currently where the clinching game sits, is the first time you face them. Right. Currently. First time you face them, that's the clinch game. If Minnesota loses again, it moves up to the Denver game for the Lions.
Denver is the only team I see that may give us a problem before we face Minnesota. We should win the next 3 games. Easy.
And we can even talk about the whole NFC picture, not knowing how the game will go tonight on Monday Night Football. If the Eagles lose, the Lions will be tied for first place.
Woo!
In the NFC.
When was the last time that was? That's got to be ages. I don't think we've ever been tied for the first seed this late in the season.
I can't
imagine that we
answer that question for you on when the last time.
I mean, the last time we were even a team like this was 91 when we went 12-4. So I just
and to pump up the Lions' hope of maybe we can be first place in the NFC. The remaining Eagles schedule: Chiefs tonight, Bills next week, 49ers the week after that, Cowboys the week after that, Seahawks the week after that.
Wow.
And then it's Giants, Cardinals, Giants. So the Eagles' next 5 games are not going to be easy at all.
Well,
this is your window.
That's what you get when you're the best team in the league, or at least the best team in the NFC.
And they have that tough of a schedule coming up. I could honestly see them losing 2 of the next 5.
Sure. I don't know about 2 of the next 5.
They could lose. They could lose to the Chiefs tonight. They could lose to the Chiefs tonight. They probably will beat the Bills.
The Bills they're spiraling.
I think they can beat the 49ers at home, but I think they'll lose in Dallas.
Quite possibly. I think they're a lot better than Dallas.
And worst case scenario, they lose 3 out of the next 5 as an Eagles fan, where you're going to probably
how far are we ahead of? So we're ahead of the 49ers.
You're ahead of the 49ers.
By how many games?
You are ahead of the 49ers. Let me pull up the full stats. You currently are ahead of the 49ers by 1 game.
Okay.
But you have a tiebreaker against the 49ers. So I'm not as concerned, right? You can risk kind of losing a game since you have a tiebreaker.
All I want to do, first number 1 goal, I'm not even looking at seeding. Win the division.
Win the division. Which you should be able to do. You should have no problem winning the
division. After you win the
None.
Division, then you can have another goal.
Yes.
But win the division. That's your only goal at this point.
Everything's looking good, though, Lions-wise. Not that difficult of a schedule to the last 3 games. You have your destiny in front of you. You hold the cards. You just got to keep on going.
Right.
With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.